All right, so that was the tower itself, and this is a hexagonal tower because it's got, did you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So we need a 6-sided platform to go on the top. So you can run down here to the end of the section here, and you get your platforms. And this denotes here that it's for it goes on a hex tower, and it's obviously a hex platform. And then this is a hex platform that goes on the square tower. And then these are square platforms that go on square towers, but we're not doing those. So I just need the hex platform that goes on the hex tower. Also do a print. Now this you could print in black and white because technically everything that's in it is black and white except these words. So if you just had a black and white printer, you can do that. So again, we'll just print the current page. Make sure you print just the current page because you don't want to print everything again. And I always check to make sure I'm on the right setting, even though Adobe keeps that. And then we'll print that one. All right, we've got both pieces printed, and we'll take it over to the table and assemble it. All right, so now that you've got these off the printer, you come over to your crafting table if you have one. A couple things you're going to need is you'll need a scoring tool, and these are pretty cheap. They have usually have a small end and a thicker end, and we'll be using the smaller end for our project. You can get these. There's one tip I saw I used to use a long time ago. Is you take a ballpoint pen, and you can take the ink cartridge out of a like a big crystal pen or something like that, and you can work a paper clip into there and use the edge of a paper clip if you don't have a scoring tool, but it's probably best to go ahead and just get one if you're going to do a lot of paper crafting. You can use the flat side of a pair of scissors as well, so you can run the ball of the scissor if you need to. But for this, we will be using a scoring tool. So the best way to score something is to put it onto some paper. You may see them, I've got some score marks there, and to use a flat edge, preferably a metal ruler. So the paper gives some room for the cardstock to press down, so when you just have a little stack to your side, and you just want to score things before you cut them out on the dash line there. And so we got that one, and then we'll score this one. I'm going to score this on the red line. You just put your ruler right next to it. And you just want to break the paper a little bit. Now we'll score on this one, we'll score the folds after the fact. But most of the time you're going to score before. You could score these now, but you want to make sure they line up after you fold this together. So the next thing you need to do is cut these out. So we're done with the score. And you can just cut these with scissors if you want, or I'm going to use my Fiskars paper slicer here. Makes it a little easier to get it done. And you just cut those out. Again, I'll have links to all of these items down below, and you can at least see directly what I'm talking about, whether you order them through the links. That is up to you, of course. You may already have these. So we'll do the tower first. Cutting that out. All right, so on this one, you can do some of these cuts with the paper cutter, but then you're going to have to do some others with the actual scissors, because these cutouts don't want to work too well with that. But what I will do is I'll go ahead and cut these angles off, the outer ones. And then I'll just have to cut the little nibs out. With the scissors. Okay, so those are done. They're ready to go. And so you want to test your fold. You've already got it going there. And once you got it folded, I use Elmer's glue stick, school glue. They do make a larger one of these. It's about 1 inch around if you're doing big surface areas, but I usually just use a little extra of this. And you will kind of rub it on. You want to make sure that you get the edges really good. The inside will hold, but you want to definitely make sure that the edges don't come apart. And you don't need that much. I probably overdo my glue. But once that is done, you fold it over and just push it together. And you can hard do that crease on the fold. If you have a brayer, which is like a rolling pin for paper crafts and stuff, you can use that to kind of press it as well. So we'll finish up our gluing step. Same thing with this one here. Put your fold there. Put your glue on one side, paying attention to the edges. And you just seal it up. Done. And if you got any of these little white areas here where they overlapped, you can just trim those down after the fact if it matters to you. Don't get too particular, but always good to be neater, I guess. And then check the other side. It seems to be pretty well. There's a little bit there. We'll cut that one off and that one. All right. So that one's done. And it says after folding, cut out. So we want to cut the piece. It's a little trickier because it's a rectangle. And you don't have the ability to turn too easily, but work it out. A smaller pair of scissors might have helped. All right, so that's out. And that's basically going to go, that's going to sit atop the ladder. So it gives them room to get up the ladder. So, all right. So now we're going to fold it. I think I'm going to go with the blue side as my outside. So you'll notice that the gray side here has these little arrows, and that's where you're going to score along. Where you want the score? Where you want the? That's where you want the folds to be. It's basically between each of these panels. So get our paper palette here, just kind of line up, kind of goes right up through those, rivets. Use your score, get a crease, and do all 5 of those. And I'm doing, when I said I'm doing the I forgot to show you too, there's also arrows at the top right there, so they line up, so you line up the 2 arrows. Even though I'm going to set this up as the blue side, it's not a permanent decision. You can always flip it around for your next game and use the gray side. The clips are designed to work with double thickness of cardstock. So that's why I like to be extra careful. So let's clean up a little bit of junk here, and we will do the assembly. All right, to assemble this into a tower. You're going to fold on your score lines. And once that is done, there's your tower shape. To hold it together, you're going to use the flat D 60 degree angle clip. That's this one here. It's got the 6 on it, right there. And you're just going to hook it on. You can really just hook it on 3 sides of one of these, and that works well enough to hold its shape and hold it off the ground or hold it on the table. So, but the first one where you're going to join, the first one where it joins the 2 bare ends, and then what I do is use the every other one, so it gives you 3 corners that get locked into place. Three corners of the hex, and there is the tower. Now, of course, because it's so big, this is one to open up, and this how it actually is pretty necessary on these. Is you're going to go ahead and put 3 more of those same 60 degree clips on the top, and then that holds that one closed, and go ahead and do 2 more on each corner. So holding the 3 corners in place, you're pretty much going to now preserve your hexagonal shape of the tower. So the next step is we're going to attach the top of the tower to the platform to the top of the tower. Now how we do this is I'm using today Loctite mounting putty. This is the poster tack of the blue stuff. You can also use Gorilla putty, which is a beige package, which I have some somewhere and I cannot find for this video, and it does not take much at all. It just takes a very little bit. And so what you're going to do is put just a little bit on each of the clips on the top. And it really takes just a nothing size there. And put that on. And then what you want to do is line it up onto your template. And so this is the top of the tower, and then this is the bottom, and it shows a hex diagram where this is supposed to go. So make sure your ladder lines up on the slot, and you kind of just line it up inside that hex area there. And then just gently press it down. And there you go. And then you got the lid at the top on there. And you now have your tower ready for battle. So one other thing that you can do, and I didn't show printing these, but there are also templates for these railings. There's some for the 4-sided square top and the hexagonal top, and these serve as guardrails if you want. So the same principle, you're just going to print them, score them, fold them, and then you'll put those on with 90-degree clips right here, and you'll see one side sits on top of the other. So I usually slide this part onto the tower and this part for the railing. So you just take it and you would put, what we do is put one on the railing, slide it in place. Make sure you use the same side of the clip for each one so it doesn't sit wonky. And then they fold and they just attach onto like so. And then you can put one, you can just do one for the opposite side, you can do 2, you can do all the way around if you like. So anyway, I hope that makes it clear how you can build the Sci-Fi guard towers for flat D terrain, and hope you print some, use them, and have a happy battle. Thanks so much for watching. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Oh!